Hey everybody, how's it going? Brad Ellis here, and I'm joined by Daniel Bloodworth.
Gamescom stuff happening.
That's right, baby.
Right and left previews.
Blood, I had the chance to check out a interesting game that I was super curious about. We saw this a little bit ago, this trailer, and I had no idea what this game was, but I liked the art style. That is Pentiment.
Yeah,
a new
Obsidian.
Obsidian, surprising little game for them. Blood, this game I saw is essentially a adventure game.
Okay.
A little adventure game, narrative adventure game.
Do you move around a lot?
Yes, you do.
Okay,
yes.
nice.
Yeah, we'll get into all that. It's a narrative. They describe it as a narrative RPG with some light RPG elements, but it's mostly a narrative game. Blood, one thing that's really great about this game is the setting, kind of a fascinating time period. It takes place the late Middle Ages, the year 1518, during the Holy Roman Empire era of all that kind of thing like that. Has the woodcut art style that was very famous back then. Like, if you're seeing the footage right now, it's very striking and beautiful looking game. That's like the thing that drove me to it, obviously, right off the bat. And the game you play is a artist named as Andreas Mahler. And like the thing I saw was the very early part of the game. You chose your kind of background of what he studied at university, and he chose some things that he studied. One of the things I saw he could chose from was like astronomy. One of the things was like the occult, stuff like this. He kind of studied in history, and you could pick where he studied. He went through an apprenticeship as an artist. So you could pick where he studied all these things like that. Oh, you could also pick a Latinist, which I thought was interesting. Some of the locations you picked where he studied from was from Basel, Flanders, and Italy. But all these kind of things you choose will determine specific things for him to call out during conversations in the background. Like, one of the things earlier on I saw was him collecting wood for an old woman, and one of the choices was reflecting on he chose an herbalist path before, and this tree we're gonna pick off was property for someone else, but this herbalist path you chose made him very nature, and he's like, well, the force belongs to everyone, kind of thing like that. So these choices do matter. The whole game, or at least what I saw, revolves around solving a murder mystery. Okay. So you're in this town, someone was murdered at the Abbey, and you go around and you figure out kind of what's going on in this whole place, talking to people. When you talk to people, you walk around town freely. Obviously it's 2D, so you're going up and down, but you can go where you want. You can talk to people. You can, one of these old guys asked me, he was working in a field, and he asked me if I'd seen his son, and the thing I saw was he lied to them and was like, no, I haven't seen him. So you can lie to people if you kind of want them to believe some things like that. But
2D walking around in town like that reminds me of Zelda 2.
Yeah, it kind of did remind me of Zelda 2. That's a good point, Blood. Lots of different people to talk to. Controls are minimum and forgiving because they want everyone to kind of be able to play this game and hop in and not get bogged down by that stuff. There's also some mini games you could do in this, that they'll have you do. This old woman I was doing chores for, she's having me break sticks, or I was watching the person break sticks, and and she's like, you're just doing them, and she would yell at you if you're doing them wrong. But they're really simple. They want it to be easy. They just want it to be something more immersive and not necessarily I gotta rack up a high score kind of thing like that. Just kind of something to get you in the world. The game has really fancy font. I'm not sure exactly what the term is for it, but it's very, very fancy, very nice looking. But if you want, you can disable it all if you're having trouble reading it.
Oh, okay.
It's very fancy cursive, and some people, it could be kind of hard to read it sometimes like that. There's a bunch of narrative, different things you could do, and also different endings, which I thought was cool. So some replay value like that. It's gonna be a smaller game, which is great.
Yeah, I'm curious. Did they talk about how long they expect it to be? Is it
I'm not exactly sure how long it is, but they said it was a shorter game. One thing I thought was interesting, those Bloods, they pitched this when they got bought by Microsoft because they thought it'd be a good fit for Game Pass.
Okay, got it.
And Microsoft was like, yeah, totally. Very small. I don't know. I forgot if I said this, but it's a small game. 13 developers. It started with 2.
Okay, yeah, a small team.
Small team, yeah, 13, but started with 2 of them. I'll just the main demo I saw was revolved around this widow, who her husband obviously died recently, but she was very mad at the church. So you're going in there, you're trying to solve this mystery of what's going on, who killed this person. You go in there and you talk to her. She hates the church, kind of thing. You start talking to her. But if you want to get information out of her, you can do things for her to help persuade her. I was saying, I was doing chores for her, I was out collecting sticks for her, I was helping her hang stuff up. She wanted me to take down a cross at one point, and the thing I saw was your character persuading her to keep it because, he doesn't want to anger the church or anything like that.
Right.
And because you did nice things for her, she's like, okay, I'll keep it up. She's like, it reminds me of my husband and stuff like that. But at the beginning, Blood also is, yes, you are going out, you're solving this mystery, you're talking to people, you're figuring out things, but you kind of have an order you can do things in if you want, or freedom. Like the beginning, it's like, hey, you could talk to this person, or you can talk to this person, but maybe I should go to the abbey where this guy was murdered to see his like examination of the body. Because if I don't do that, I might miss some information.
Okay. So there's sort of like maybe not necessarily a timer, but
yeah,
if you make a choice, then things will happen in the world.
Yeah, exactly. There's like I saw like do some things, like do some events, finish things with the widow, then like a time kind of moved, like a time skip, almost like the day went to like dinner time or something like that. So maybe I'm guessing you can only choose a certain amount of things that you want to do in this order, but it's giving you like this, like the choice of how you want to solve these things, and like obviously many dialogue trees and how you want to talk to people. So I haven't played a ton of adventure games, Blood, but I was into the story. I was obviously into the visuals. It's a beautiful game. I really love the way it looks. And they were saying it's a perfect Game Pass game. I was like, yeah, kind of agree. Seems like a nice little narrative game to hop into. And it seems like kind of pretty unique for them. They're mostly, to me, known for RPGs. And this is a more narrative focus with some light RPG stuff.
Yeah, so when they say RPG, like other than backgrounds and stuff like that, or any sort of specific
it's
stats?
Mostly like, it seemed like what choices you were making narratively.
Okay.
In that sense. They very light RPG, like the background stuff. There's probably stuff later on. One thing the developer said was, I remember in the interview, they said, I thought it was really fun, Blood, is like, you're trying to solve this mystery about who murdered this person. They're saying, it's up to you to decide, who to get accused, and it's like you can pick who you think's right or someone you just don't really like and you want to get rid of.
Okay.
And I was like, oh.
Crazy.
Like, yeah, leaving in some room for some political discourse or something like. But the demo I saw was really small, but I was into it. I'm definitely curious. I want to see more when it comes out this November.
Nice.
So I'm curious about it. I think you would actually really like it. I hope you check it out too. I hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you look forward to this game. I'm more excited for this game than I was before, so great sign. Small little cool game.
Yeah, it's nice to get a deeper look at it, because just from a second, it's a little hard. Like what's happening here? Yeah. But I got a good sense of it now.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks everybody. See ya.